immigration.com, your go-to resource for U.S. immigration insights. We provide clear immigration news and information. Our platform provides a network of licensed attorneys who can answer your questions and guide you through the process. From visas to green cards, asylums to citizenships, immigrationquestion.com helps you to network with immigration attorneys so that you can move forward with confidence. Sign up today or download the app. Free registration, limited time offer. Stay tuned. We go live in 30 seconds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the special edition webinar hosted by immigrationquestion.com, a networking platform and meeting ground where immigrants, families, advocates, and licensed immigration attorneys come together to understand U.S. immigration policies and procedures better. My name is GB Sutusa, and I'll be your host for today's important discussion on the topic Winning Family-Based and SIJS Cases in 2026. What's changed and how to get approved. Now, over the last few years, many families and immigrant minors have experienced increased scrutiny in immigration filings, longer processing times, and changing documentation expectations from the USCIS. That is why, no matter your status, a vast understanding of what officers are looking for today can make a major difference in your case moving forward. Families are becoming more aware of that interviews, evidence reviews, and even online activity may now play a larger role in how USCIS cases are evaluated. Now, at the same time, SIJS cases continue to involve both state court proceedings and federal immigration processes, which can feel overwhelming for many applicants and caregivers going through the system. To help us break this all down, we are honored to be joined by attorney Sonyu Lau Esquire, an experienced immigration attorney who works closely with families and young immigrants on family-based immigration matters and special immigrant juvenile status cases. Attorney Lau, thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited to have you for this important discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we begin, just a quick reminder to our audience, attorney. ImmigrationQuestion.com is a public educational and networking platform. The information shared today is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute individualized legal advice. If you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or any other platform, welcome. Please subscribe and share this session with anyone who may benefit from understanding these important immigration processes. Attorney Lau, let's dive right in. To begin, how have USCIS adjudication trends in 2026 changed the way family-based petitions are being reviewed compared to previous years?
Well, generally speaking, what we have seen in our practice, the wait time has increased a lot. Either it is I-130 or either it is I-360, the SIJ petition, the wait time has increased tremendously. Few cases that we have filed since 2023, they still remain pending as of today. So I-130 may take as much as 3 years or maybe more than that in few cases.
Yeah. Now, what types of online activity or digital footprints are now becoming relevant in evaluating bona fides of relationships or admissibility concerns?
So that matters a lot. I'll give you a couple of examples. When you apply for such petition, for example, I-45 based on I-130, it's very likely that your social media profile will be looked at, what you are posting online. That's one part of it, and what documentation you are providing in support of your application, that matters a lot.
All right. Now, attorney, what should applicants expect differently during interviews today compared to some years ago?
It's a very good question. So when you go for these interviews, family-based particularly, let's say you are going for a marriage-based green card interview, And in those interviews, what's happening legally is the officer is basically deciding two applications. Number one, the I-130 and the I-485. For the I-130, you can expect kind of extra scrutiny. The officer would dig deeper into the bona fide of your marriage, whether the marriage is bona fide or not, whether it has been entered into just for the purposes of obtaining green card or not. In those cases, first of all, your preparation, your answers matter a lot. In addition, what kind of documentation, meaning the joint documentation you are providing in a family-based green card, it matters a lot. And also be prepared to, in many cases, kind of separate interviews.
Yeah.
My recent experience with a couple of these interviews where officers separated the couple and took the interview one by one. So be prepared for those kind of interviews also.
All right. Now, Attorney, about SIJS, can you explain who qualifies under the Special Immigrant Juvenile Status framework?
Generally speaking, a minor who has been abandoned by either one or both the parents. In that case, you may be eligible for SIJ if there is a guardian or at least one parent who can file petition in the family state court.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what exactly been happening with SIJS cases in the immigration court. So even if your SIJS petition is approved, in terms of visa processing, that will fall under EB4 category. At this time, the EB4 category is not current. And if it is not current, then the immigration judge in the court cannot, or generally they do not terminate the immigration court proceedings. In that case, they normally ask this question, what other relief you are seeking from the immigration court?
Okay.
Because if the date is not current, the judge cannot grant the adjustment of status.
All right.
And the judge want to know what kind of other relief you have before the immigration court. In many cases, these children, meaning the parents, already have an asylum case. And later on, they file this SIJS petition, it gets approved. Somehow the cases get separated, meaning they are individually in the immigration court. In such cases, if you do not have an immigration attorney, first of all, you should hire an immigration attorney, and you can still pursue your asylum case even though it got separated from your parents' asylum case. That's one of the scenarios that we come across very often in the immigration court.
All right. Now, Attorney, once a SIJS, predicate order is issued, what is the process for moving from state court approval to USCIS green card approval?
So let's say state courts approves it.
Yeah.
After the state court approve it, you file with USCIS I-360, you include the state court's order, and then you wait for USCIS to be approved.
Okay.
Even after the approval, you cannot get your green card immediately because, as I said, I-360 falls under EB4 category, which means there is a wait time at this time. You have to wait for your priority date to become current to be able to file for the green card.
Okay. Now, Attorney, what practical steps should families and minors take during the process to avoid any delays and increase approval chances?
So first of all, the first problem that we normally see is getting approval in the family court. No matter what state you are in, New York, Texas, every state has different court proceedings.
Yeah.
So make sure the state court proceedings is being filed timely. You get the approval done in a timely fashion, particularly when the age out situation is there. So if you are somewhere between 19 and 20, you should get things going so that the state court proceedings are done quickly, and you should be able to file your SIJS application before you turn 21.
All right. Thank you so much for those insights, Attorney Lau. For everyone watching, today's discussion is not meant to create fear around family-based immigration or SIJS cases, but to help applicants better understand how these cases are being reviewed. Families can avoid common mistakes and prepare stronger applications by staying informed, organized, and proactive. Now, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. ImmigrationQuestion.com is a networking platform and meeting ground where users can ask immigration related questions at no cost and engage with participating attorneys. We're also proud to share that ImmigrationQuestion.com is triple B accredited and ISO certified. This reflects our commitment to transparency, accountability, community education, and security. Now, Attorney Lau, based on your experience, how does a platform like ImmigrationQuestion.com help immigrants and immigration attorneys like yourself?
Well, I think it's a great platform. It connects the people who are looking for immigration help, and then it connects immigration attorneys to their prospective clients. So I would say it's a great platform and win-win for both sides of parties.
Thanks so much for those thoughts, Attorney. Now, before we move into our live Q&A, let's tackle this very important question. What would you say is one common misconception families or SIJS applicants have about these immigration processes that you believe should be clarified?
So many people don't understand this visa bulletin issue. Many people assume that once I-360 is approved, you automatically get your green card, or at least you can immediately file for a green card.
Yeah.
So that's not true. People who are pursuing this process, I-360, SIJS petition, they should understand the concept of visa bulletin. What it means is, even if I-360 is approved, you cannot get your green card immediately. So you should understand that part.
Yeah. If you just joined us, we've been speaking with Attorney Sonyu Lau on the topic winning family-based and SIJS cases in 2026. What's changed and how to get approved. We're now moving into our live Q&A session. This is your opportunity to ask general questions and hear educational insight from a licensed immigration attorney. Please drop those questions in the chat or call us live at 516-703-3483, and we'll take as many as time permits. All right. What evidence does USCIS want to see to prove abuse, neglect, or abandonment in an SIJS case?
So you can provide supporting documentation such as letters from your family and friends, and if there was any kind of violent activity that happened, and you submitted any kind of police report, you can also include those police reports as evidence.
All right. Mateo is asking, how long are SIJS green card backlogs taking right now? And can I still get work authorization while waiting?
So there are two parts to it. Number one, how long the I-360 approval is taking. It's taking easily more than a year or so. And if you get even if it is approved, then you have to wait for the priority date to become current. At this time, on an average, the wait time is easily somewhere between 3 to 4 years. So let's say your I-360 gets approved today, you will still have to wait somewhere between 3 to 4 years to be able to file for your green card.
All right.
And once your date becomes current, once you file your I-485, you can also file your EAD, the employment authorization document.
Okay. All right. Yasmin is asking, what happens if I turn 18 or 21 while my SIJS petition is still pending?
So very good question. It's a very important issue in these matters. As long as you are able to submit your I-360 application to USCIS, you should be okay. After submitting it, while it remains pending, if you cross that age threshold, the application can still be approved. So as long as you file it before you cross that age threshold, you're fine.
Okay. Bongani is asking, how can I prove my marriage is real in a family-based green card case if we do not have many joint documents?
So in many cases, we have seen people get married and they immediately file their green card application. And at that point of time, probably they do not have much joint documentation because they just started living together. In those cases, what we advise is even after you file your green card I-130 and I-485 application, you can keep collecting your joint documentation. And by the time you're scheduled for an interview, which generally takes few months at least, somewhere between 7 to 8 months, and within that 7 to 8 months period, you can collect more documentation. And you can take all these joint documentation at the time of the interview and give it to the interviewing officer. In terms of joint documentation, what kind of joint documentation? For example, joint lease agreement, insurance, if you have traveled together, those kind of receipts. If you have traveled together, take as many pictures as you can, provide those pictures. And if you have bank statements together, credit card together, you can provide those statements.
All right. Keiko is asking, what kind of questions are couples being asked during marriage-based green card interviews now?
So these marriage-based green card interviews start with very basic questions, your basic biographic information, where you were born, what's your address, what's your employment history, etc. And then the officer would want to know the bona fide of the marriage. Typically, the question and answer will be very generic, meaning where did you meet? Who proposed? Where did the marriage happen? Who came in your marriage? And very general question that normally a couple would know about each other. For example, okay, what did you do for Christmas? What did you do over the New Year, etc. And about the family member of each other. Very basic question that normally as a spouse you would know about the other spouse.
Yeah. All right. Luca is asking, are family-based interviews becoming stricter because of recent immigration policy changes?
Yes, well, that has been our experience so far. These interviews are getting lengthier and lengthier. And as I mentioned before, in recent of my few interviews, the couple were separated and they were interviewed one by one. So yes, these interviews are getting stricter.
All right. Thanks to everyone who joined this special edition webinar. And thank you, Attorney Lal, for sharing your knowledge and practical guidance with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
For everyone watching, you can always visit immigrationquestion.com to ask immigration-related questions, stay informed about policy updates, and register for upcoming live events. And if you missed any part of today's important discussion with Attorney Lal, the replay will be available on Spotify soon. Just search Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com. We look forward to seeing you on Wednesday at our next live session. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected. Bye-bye.